In this video, I'm gonna be completely breaking down the 3-step formula I used to help take Cory Armstrong from 10K a month to 50K a month consistently. So save this video, bookmark it, share it with a friend, do whatever you gotta do so you can keep referring back to it in order to scale your online business. But before we get into those 3 things, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and once you're done watching, make sure you comment below what your biggest takeaway was. So step number 1 was I revamped his organic content. There's a couple massive mistakes a lot of business owners make, especially trainers, that sink their ability to find clients and close them online. The first is they post primarily about themselves. With trainers, the ones I always see are the shirtless pics, the pulling up the abs, the working out videos with the trending audios about how much of a beast they are. They're great, don't get me wrong. Okay, they're not great. They're all right, don't get me wrong. And I get why they're fun to make, but you have to remember that you're not the hero in your audience's story. They are. So the more they see you just posting about yourself, like, they're not going to think, oh man, this guy's really cool and really in shape, I wanna be like him. They're gonna think, oh, another video like this. You always have to remember, you are competing with different people on different scales depending on what you do. So if you're constantly posting yourself shirtless, if you're constantly posting yourself working out, if you're constantly relying on your body in order to close more deals, you have to remember, you are competing with other people based on their bodies now, because that is a standard you are setting. So now it doesn't come down to how well you do your job. It doesn't come down to the kind of results you can get for your clients. It comes down to how hot are you? And that is a ridiculous scale to be playing on. Because it doesn't matter how jacked you are, it doesn't matter how good looking you are, it doesn't matter how nice your facial hair is, there's always going to be somebody hotter than you. There's always going to be somebody who looks better working out than you. There's always going to be somebody who looks cooler working on their MacBook at Starbucks than you do. There's always going to be somebody whose workout routine is better than yours. So you need to stop making that the main focus of your content. Stop focusing on yourself. Instead, you need to provide specific value that solves the burning problems of the people that you serve. Which means, if you haven't already, you should niche down. You need to provide a specific transformation for people, so that means you need to solve a specific problem for a specific person in a specific manner that gets them specific results. This is exactly what I did for Cory. He was working with a content agency that all they did was the shirtless pics on the boat with the vague motivational quote, "If today wasn't tomorrow, none of it would be guaranteed." You know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I remember asking Cory when we first started working together, like, okay, who do you serve? And like, what specifically do you help them do? And like, what specific problems are they facing? We came with a long list of those things. And then I said, okay, that's our content strategy now. Like, we are going to become a free guide for people who want to lose weight and get ripped using intermittent fasting, specifically guys between the ages of 25 and 50. Now, because Cory is giving them information that solves their burning problems, when they go to his page, they binge his content. They continue to scroll. They go, wow, this guy's awesome. And he clearly has the answer to my problems. I want to keep watching. And then after a while, when they see him so many times, they go, I think I just want to sign up for his program. He clearly can get results better than I can. The second mistake that a lot of people make with their content is they're way too vague with the value they provide. And now this has to do with the common Gary Vee advice of add value, but they don't know that different types of advice hold much more weight than other types of advice. For example, if I was talking to men who are married and they don't feel like their wife is attracted to them anymore and they can barely see their, well, what do you think is going to move the needle more? Me giving them tips for them to burn fat and keep it off as quickly as possible, or me giving them form pointers on how they bench press? A lot of people make the mistake of going into add value mode, and so they make a giant list of all the things that have at least a little bit of value, and they talk about all of it. Stop it. Instead, ask yourself, what are the biggest burning problems my audience is going through? And how can I give actionable steps for them to solve it as quickly as possible? And a final mistake a lot of people make with their content is they run to ads right away. Guys, ads aren't going to convert. If somebody goes to your page and they see garbage content that doesn't help them, if they don't know what you're doing, and if all they see is videos on how to increase your bench press and how to squat better, but that's not the real thing they're after, they're not gonna stick, watch your content, and actually buy. They might stick, but you'll become a video they scroll past on the feed. And you'll ask yourself, how come it's hard to close people? How come people aren't engaging with my videos? How come my videos aren't attracting ideal clients? Well, you ran straight to ads without having a good base first. Cory started running ads after I got him to 50K a month. He didn't just run ads hoping that it would somehow magically fix his problems. We fixed the organic issue, we posted extremely consistently, and then he started running ads in about the spring or summer of 2020. Also, I do want to say a disclaimer. Cory had been training people for 6 years, and he had been doing it online for about 3 or 4 years before we started working together. So if you're brand new to this, don't expect that you're just going to post a couple of videos solving their burning problems and all of a sudden you're going to be Brandon Carter or something. That's not how it's going to go down. The greatest asset on your side is compound interest. So do everything I'm going to tell you consistently over time. You will be a completely different person in a year. So here's the second biggest thing I did for Cory to help him get from 10 to 50K consistently. And this one is fun because we actually got so much traffic that it like broke his system. He had to stop taking on clients, increase prices like crazy, and focus more on hiring and training people rather than converting new clients. It was nuts. In fact, Cory had to increase his price 3 or 4 times since we started working together. So now that people are binging his content like it's their favorite Netflix show, well, now what? Sure, you could direct them to the DMs and have a DM setter in there and just try to close deals that way, and that's not a bad strategy. DM setters are great, but there's a far more efficient option that allows you to book more calls and get the leads way warmer by the time they get on the sales call. And it's an educational email course. An educational email course is a supercharged lead magnet. The problem with most lead magnets is that it only hits your prospects once. So Cory, for example, had a free intermittent fasting guide and a free 6-pack guide. Once they get those guides though, they probably read it and then that's it. An educational email course is a supercharged lead magnet. It hits them a total of 9 times. Here's what that means. You send the prospects to a landing page saying, hey, if you sign up for free, you get my course. And the course is broken up into 5 parts and you send it to them every day automatically for 5 days. But bueno, you said 9 touch points, where are the 9? The day they sign up, they get day 0. Hey, thanks for signing up. Here's what you're going to get over the next 5 days. And they get emails for the next 5 days. And then after that, they get a pitch sequence to work with you 3 times. 9 separate touch points. It nurtures them much better than a simple guide or a PDF. And in that course, you're going to, again, like you do with the content, solve their biggest burning problems and give them actionable steps to do so. Now, when they get on the call, they're going to be begging to work with you instead of you having to cajole them for like an hour. I'm going to make a video breaking down the back end of an educational email course and how it works specifically, so stay tuned for that in the future. But just know this, Cory's email course in the first 3 months booked him 75 calls on autopilot. All he did was send people from Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to the course. They signed up and he booked 75 calls without having to do anything else from that course. So yeah, it's made things easier on his sales team, it's made things easier for him, and it's made things easier for me because, well, now I look a lot more valuable. The best thing about an email course is the fact that it is a long form asset that runs forever. Once I put it in there, it doesn't stop going. It will book calls till the rest of time. Now it's not just about posting content and getting Cory to film and stacking the top of our funnel like crazy. I put a system in place that makes it much easier to convert his viewers into clients. And the third and final step I use to help Cory get to this point is daily emails. There are gonna be a lot of people who take your free course and don't sign up. However, you don't know how warm they are until you follow up with them. And emails are a great way to follow up with all those people on that list. Well, because they're already on the list and you might as well communicate to them through there. Cory's email open rate is about 30% and he gets at least 20 to 30 clicks on every email. So if even 5 of those people book a call and he closes 2 or 3 of them and they only sign up for his lowest package, which is $1,000, that's an extra 2 to 3K every single day. And when you look at the natural progression of the entire system that I built for him, they come in through the content, they watch his social media stuff, they get nurtured, they go on the email course because his stuff is valuable enough to push them onto the email course. The email course nurtures them even more automatically without any of us having to do any extra work. And then we send them daily emails so that the people who still haven't been closed finally convert into clients. My strategy for writing emails is quite simple, and if you've been in the world of marketing for long enough, you've probably heard of it. It's nothing special. Tell them an interesting story, give them a valuable lesson that helps solve one of those burning problems in that story, and then give them a soft pitch at the end of the email to work with you. You don't come off too salesy, you give them enough value to where they're going to want to read, even if they don't book on the first email they see, and it keeps open and click rates high. Now, I don't talk about ads in this video, and the reason for that is because if you're an online trainer selling B2C, you don't need to be running ads if you have these things dialed in. Sure, they help, and the reason we run them is because we want to pour gas on the fire. And I run ads for my business. I get how valuable they are. But you need to understand that if you don't have good systems in place, if you don't have good content already, ads aren't going to convert. They're not a magic pill that will solve all your marketing problems. So if you like this video, make sure you drop it a like below, subscribe, leave a comment on what stood out to you the most. And if you have any questions for me, my DMs are open on Instagram. So shoot me a message. I'd love to chat with you. And if you're looking for something else to do, maybe you should check out this video right here.